boy, oh boy, the first ever NFL game in Germany, Munich, Germany specifically. And our Tampa Bay Buccaneers take care of business against a Seattle team that is actually really good. But before I get into my reaction, I am Rami B. If you are new here, make sure you click the subscribe button down below. I post weekly Buccaneer reaction videos. And yeah, let's get into it. So, our Tampa Bay Buccaneers came off a very bad game against the Rams, and they had magic in the last 44 seconds to win it. A lot of people were saying this was the season-changing drive against the Rams, and so far it looks to hold true. Going into Germany, there was a lot of talk about which team had the better strategy. The Seahawks went a day earlier than us to get acclimated. We got there on a Friday in Germany, but it looks like the Buccaneers prevailed and their strategy worked. The Seattle Seahawks were number one in their division at 6-3, and that's a division with the San Francisco 49ers, who are a really good team. And I was thinking prior to this game, if the Bucs lose to the Seahawks, I think making the playoffs would be really tough. But if we could beat a good team like the Seahawks, that could do a lot for our confidence. Now we're going into the bye week at 5-5, and then I forgot who we play after the bye week, but I think it's Cleveland maybe, I could be wrong. But we are going into the bye at 500, a game over the Falcons with a tiebreaker, so a game and a half, 2 games ahead of the Saints, 2.5 I think is a tiebreaker, and then 2 games ahead of the Panthers. So we're in good position to kind of make a run right now. But let's get into the stats. So we won 21-6 at Allianz Arena in Munich. I think that's where the football club Bayern plays. I could be wrong. But anyways, the Bucs had 419 total yards of offense, 258 passing, 161 rushing. The Seahawks had 283 total yards, 244 passing, and 39 rushing. I don't know what changed. Maybe the Seahawks were trying to force, they'd rather not let Brady beat us and let the run game beat us, but it worked out for us. This is the most rushing yards we've had since week 1 against the Dallas Cowboys. The Seahawks only had 39 rushing yards. It's good to see that over the last 2 games. Now, I know the Rams weren't a good rushing team, but our rush defense has really tightened up these last few games. And it seems kind of interesting. Since Shaq Barrett went down, our run defense has been better, and our D-line seems to be getting pressure and things like that. But I'm not going to run down the whole thing of Shaq Barrett needs to be, shouldn't come back, whatever the case is. But Tom Brady was 22 for 29 for 258 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a pick. That pick was his first pick since week 1 against the Cowboys. He had 400 consecutive passes without an interception. He was 3 passes, I want to say, away from breaking the record that Aaron Rodgers had in 2018. And now, I believe in the media jinx. It seems like they've been talking about it all week, and it happened so close to that record. But it's fine. 2 picks, and he should have, what now, 12 touchdowns, I think, for the season. So touchdown-interception ratio of 6-2, I think would still be the best in the NFL. I could be wrong, though. But Brady looked a little more like his older self, more confident. The offense was moving the ball much better. I don't, maybe the run game did open up the pass game for us, but overall it looked like the offense was much more fluid. Leonard Fournette was the only other person to throw a pass, and it was picked off. Now I want to say, that's 1,000% a Byron Leftwich issue. A couple plays before, we ran a wildcat to Leonard Fournette, and Brady was wide open. And I keep saying that Byron Leftwich is not a good offensive coordinator or play caller because he doesn't know how to really scheme or get into rhythm. I think he just picks random plays. That's my opinion. So he picked a wildcat play. First off, we never run wildcat, or we never run trick plays, and all of a sudden he decides to use it twice in a matter of 3-4 plays. It was kind of weird, but he ran it, saw that Brady was wide open earlier, so figured for some reason that if we ran it again, Brady would still be open. Brady slipped, and then it was picked off. I don't think if Brady didn't slip, he wasn't going to catch it, and I don't know if he would have prevented the interception. I wouldn't expect him to jump up on the corner and, try to knock it off. He might, maybe offensive pass interference or something to help, but either way, horrible play call, and when Leonard saw that the defender was there, he should have just downed it or something, but anyways, that's beyond the point. Run game, Rachaad White had 22 carries for 105 yards, which is 4.8 yards per carry, and Leonard Fournette had 14 for 57, which is 4.1 yards per carry. Offense, like I said, played better. I know Leonard Fournette left the game in the 4th quarter with a hip issue, and he was like, his belly was wrapped up. But yeah, I think Rachaad White moving forward might be the running back 1. At least, obviously while Lenny's hurt, but even if Lenny isn't hurt, I think Rachaad White should be the, oh, hello, cat. Rachaad White seems to see holes better. It has more burst and explosion, and he broke a couple. He had the longest running play for the Bucs this season. I think Leonard Fournette had it at 17 yards against Dallas. Oh, the sun is in my eyes and everything. But Rachaad White had a 29-yarder, and in the fourth quarter when we needed that drive to steal the game, he did break out a couple ones as well. So great performance from our run game. Hopefully that carries over. In the receiving end, Chris Godwin, 6 catches for 71 yards and a touchdown, his first touchdown of the season, and it's good to see that Godwin is now back. Still with an asterisk, he hasn't really looked as himself pre-injury, but it looks like he's getting more comfortable with his knee and more explosive, and that's looking good. Mike Evans was the second leading catcher, 5 catches for 54 yards. Julio Jones, 3 for 53 and a touchdown. And now Julio, everyone was saying he's old. Yeah, he is old. I still think, and it showed, his explosion is still there. He's still really, really fast. And you could see by that catch and run, he was faster than everybody on the field once he kind of got into that gear. It's just the injury. So hopefully he can stay healthy, because him as a third option definitely opens up a lot of things for us in the passing game. And then K. Dotton, who had 3 for 35. Gronk Jr., people are calling him, but yeah, no other pass catcher over 30 yards. Defensively, we held Geno Smith to 23 of 33 for 275 yards and 2 touchdowns. He did get a fumble, or he did fumble the ball when Devin White knocked it out of his hand on that. I believe you'd consider it a sack fumble, or I don't remember if he scrambled past the line of scrimmage, but we had just thrown the pick by Lenny. They were driving down the field. They would have made it 10-14 had they scored a touchdown, and Devin White saved us in that sense and got us the ball back. Geno Smith rushed 4 for 22 yards. He was their leading rusher, and then Kenneth Walker 10 for 17. So again, rush defense played their part. On the receiving end, DK Metcalf 6 for 71, Kenneth Walker 6 for 55, Tyler Lockett 3 for 42 and a touchdown, and Marquise Goodwin 2 for 38 and a touchdown. No one else had over 35 yards. I think defensively we did the best that we could have, considering we were up and they were forced to throw the ball, and they ran a lot of no huddle, and as you know, no huddle makes it very hard on the defenses. We had 3 sacks total. Devin White had 2 of them, and Tryon Shanka had 1. I think the field played a major role. A lot of players were slipping. Ooh, look at that sun. A lot of players were slipping, and Tryon Shanka could have had a couple more sacks had he not slipped, but you know, that turf is not made for players of our size. I saw a tweet that said they're made more for soccer players, 160, 180 pounds, not these, 6'4" dudes, 200 some pounds. But anyways, great performance. Like I said, we needed a win like this against a good team. We beat the Rams, who are not good. We beat the Dallas week 1, who was good, but week 1 is always like, you can't really tell who's who. And then, yeah, great performance overall. And I think that, let me turn off this, get this sun situation figured out. All right, got the sun situation figured out. But like I said, great performance. We needed a win like that against a really good team, and we were able to pull it off. Again, the Seahawks were a very, very good team, and obviously overperforming. Everyone said they were rebuilding when they got rid of Russ and they got rid of Bobby Wagner, but clearly they didn't believe that they were rebuilding, and because of that, they are 6-3, leading Division 6-4 now. But yeah, I know people were saying travel is going to make a big deal, but I saw the numbers. Their flight was only like 40 minutes longer and like 300 miles longer, so it didn't really make that much of a difference. But yeah, again, great performance. After that Ravens game, it looks like the defense kind of learned, figured out how to turn it on. The Rams, again, have an incompetent offense, so our defense did look good, but the Seahawks can move the ball, and they played some really tough games. So yeah, like I said, bye week, 5-5 going in, get healthy. Tweak the offense a little bit, the defense, make sure it's still good. Logan Ryan, I think, is out for a few more games. I know he was on IR, and I think it's 6 weeks, and then they can come back to the roster. I don't know how long it's been. I know Shaq Barrett's out for the season. Cyril Grayson, if I know he's like on that cut with an injury, I forgot the exact name of it, but he can come back in a few weeks, I think, as well. I don't know where he is in terms of his health. But yeah, things are looking good. I do want to talk about Scotty Miller real quick. Why is he always jumping and falling? Like that catch he had that was inside the 10, he did not have to jump. It was wide open. He would have caught it with his hands, but it seems like he always has to catch it in his body. I don't know. It's a weird thing that I've noticed. Last week he dropped that touchdown because he did jump. This time he could have literally just caught it in any way, but he had to jump and then hit the ground and then not get the touchdown. We ended up scoring anyways, but still. Anyways, yeah, I don't want to make this too long. But yeah, Bucs Nation, how do you feel going into the bye week at 5-5? Do you feel like this team can make a run? Can we go 12-5? I don't know if we can do that. Maybe, 11-6. But yeah, put down your predictions down below. And as always, thank you for tuning in, and I am out.